Welcome to Navigating Mindfulness. We're doing another episode with myself, your co-host, Lisa McHale and Cheryl Sutherland.
Hi, y'all. Welcome to the Affirmatorium. Affirmatorium.
I love that. So if you haven't guessed already, we're going to be talking about affirmations. On our last episode together, we talked about how Cheryl leads this awesome room on Clubhouse called Create a Life You Love. And on Sundays, she hosts. What do you host? Weekly affirmations? No, I'm trying to remember the title. I don't remember.
It's weekly intention setting and nighttime affirmations.
And nighttime affirmations. And on that, in that room, she will welcome people to the stage and ask them what their affirmations are and work through them. And it's magical. Absolutely magical. So she did this. You'll see if you've watched some of the episodes, she tries to draw it out of me too.
And she fights me.
And I do. I really, really do. And that's really on me. It's not intentional. However, Cheryl and her Please Notes Goods has come out with another product. Dun, dun, dun.
If you're watching the video, you can see I have a stack of glorious black and gold cards, and they all have like a different affirmation, a sweet little image
Graphic
that supports the graphic that supports the actual affirmation. And I actually created these so that people can draw one and choose into who they want to be that day, if they need a little bit more guidance, if they need like a little pick-me-up, or if you want to use it to spark off your journaling practice, or if you want to use it to start off your meditation. It's like, what do I want to focus on in this meditation? And it could be that today you want to focus on the fact that you are valuable and valued, or, that you are in alignment with your purpose, or that things are always working out for you. There's just so many ways to play. So today we wanted to play with, how do we integrate affirmations into building our businesses? Because of course we're here to do it, and we're here to make a business that is long-term, that has a great foundation, that is based on the principles of abundance and co-creating with the universe, versus building something based on struggle and strife. Because you know what? Struggle is so 2020. We're in 2021. Like, let's roll out like the Autobots, right? Right.
I am ready. I mean, that has been my affirmation for the last 2 days, is like, I am ready to receive. And I know that sometimes affirmations, I think I'm doing it right. I'm ready to receive. And I know I'm looking at your face, and her face right now is like, and what? What are you ready to receive?
No, not
Okay.
even. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I'm happy for you.
Okay, great.
That was a face of like, yeah, excitement.
Okay. I'm just preparing myself for the coaching that's about to come.
Gosh, you don't even know. Okay, so this is like expectation versus reality. Okay, if you're expecting that there's going to be some coaching, even looking at your body language, for those that are watching the video, you could see that her shoulders were close up to her ears. She was a little bit curved in. She was preparing for something to happen that may not have been something to her liking. Very interesting. So often we have the opportunity to check in on ourselves as we're working too. Like if you're having a conversation or a sales meeting and you're doing this, then that means your body's like, no, bitch, we are not doing that. Like, don't do it. It doesn't feel good. So just check yourself before you wreck yourself. But yeah, so talking about affirmations. So what has been your experience with affirmations? When did you start playing with affirmations for the first time? How did you get into it?
Oh gosh, it's like onion peeling. So I was thinking about this the other day. I think it was correlated with personal development. And so the furthest I can go is 2004, right? Like that's when I really mind how you're speaking to yourself. What are you saying about yourself? What are you thinking about? What are you saying? I would say that's probably my very first time that I can go back. How about you? Because you're like the affirmation queen. How long have you been doing it?
Yeah, apparently that's what I've kept on my Clubhouse bio, and it's still rocking. So I fully embrace that. I am the affirmation queen. Yes, my crown. Okay, so I actually first started, similar to you, getting into affirmations when I started stepping into personal development, and it was actually when I was playing PLD. That's when I started first playing with affirmations, and PLD is actually a 90-day leadership program that is run through PSI seminars. And it's pretty intense. However, you understand the level of capability that you have at the end of it, which is like crazy. Like, you know how they say if you're busy, get a bigger plate? Well, we were walking around with buffet style, like silver platters. And then after it's done, you're like, wow, I can really look back and be proud of myself. So I say all of that to say that my initial playing with affirmations was interesting because it wasn't one that I chose myself. And so, in having to continually reinforce that this is who I am, this is what I'm stepping into, then as I kept saying it, first I did not believe it. And then I kept reaffirming it because I kept seeing things around me that supported that. And again, it just, the energy of it kept growing. So for that first affirmation that I have, it is, I am a worthy, courageous, beautiful woman committed to loving and trusting myself and others now.
Boom.
And
Did you hear
right.
that? It just like, and you're smiling, like you can't see her, but when she's saying it, her, like you can just see it come from her gut right up into her head and it just beams out.
Yes, because affirmations are pretty much the process of reiterating something so much so that it becomes true to you. And the thing is with affirmations is you have to be very deliberate with them. So like how you were saying earlier, like I'm ready to receive. If you are too specific, then you're going to bounce off of it. It's going to create resistance and you're not going to believe it. If you don't like, if you're not in the space of receiving it, then it's really hard to attempt to convince yourself of it. So when you're going general like you did earlier, Lisa, this is actually perfect because you're leaving the door open to receiving, like, you know, whatever. Like, and I'm assuming that the connotation when you say I'm open to receive is all good things.
Right.
So it could be love, it could be money, it could be connections, it could be people, places, and things, it could be whatever. And as long as we open that door for great things to happen, recognize when it happens, and just really sitting in this space of absorbing, and recognizing that, look, this is what I created, this is what I chose into receiving, et cetera, et cetera. There's two books that I'm actually alternating between reading right now, and one is Your Word is Your Wand by Florence Scovel Shinn, and it's basically a book of different affirmations that you can use. And then the other one is Letting Go, and is learning about how to surrender. And I don't remember the author's name from the top of my head, but we'll put it in the show notes. And it's really about like throwing things up and like just, you know, saying this is what I want, and like letting go of it, letting go of a lot of the attachments that we have to things, and therefore allowing great things to happen for us. So affirmations really plays into that because it's a statement of intent, like this is what I desire, this is what I wish to be true. And when we feel good about it, when we're in that space of allowing, when we're in that space of understanding that we're always supported, then it makes it so much easier for us to not only receive what we want, but then feel it happening right now. So,
I love that. What I found interesting about your very first affirmation is that
no,
you did not actually create it and that you didn't believe it.
no, not at
And
all.
so, can we just talk about that? Because this is navigating mindfulness while building a business. And so, I think for me as a business owner, I have for the very first time set a financial goal because this is the goal for this year, right? Is like I was my priority for last year. I've got rhythm and momentum, let's say, for my physical stuff so that I can keep doing what I love and keep living this life that I love. Um, but when it comes to finances, you put this goal out there, I guess, is it the same feeling of like having an affirmation that you don't necessarily believe? Because I actually believe that I'm going to get there. Just I'm not quite sure how.
Yeah, so I think that that's really great that you're in that space because, like, oftentimes we always go to the how.
Right.
Mike Dooley, that does the Notes from the Universe, always talks about how we like club things to death and our dreams and our desire to death by throwing in those cursed hows. Like, how am I going to do this? Because realistically, some of the things that we desire, we do not have to figure out how it's done. We just need to focus on what we want, right? And then, either the universe will sort it out or whatever way. And sometimes, again, when we get too specific, like it has to come in this certain way and in this timing, that's when it gets kind of sticky. So I feel like the most important thing is that you know that it's going to happen and are not attached to the way that it happens, right? So
Mm.
for me, I always used to get, and I love how you're tying this into this money goal, because we've been taught and we've been told so many times that we need to have specific money goals for our business so that we can like check in with ourselves, make sure that we're doing this. And then if not, like, alter and et cetera, et cetera. However, I know for myself, every time that I used to set a money goal, I would feel like overwhelmed and anxious because I'm like, well, A, how am I going to do this all by myself? And B, if I don't get this goal, what does this mean about me? That I'm not like clear enough on the goal, that I don't want it enough, that like I don't feel worthy of it. And I just made it into this giant clusterfuck. Let's be
I
honest.
think we all do that though, Cheryl. I think
Yeah.
as a business person, when you're in the mechanics of operating your business and at the end of every month or the beginning of every month or the middle of every month, whatever your cycles are, you have this responsibility. And so I'm just going to touch back to your affirmation cards. I know for me, when I need something to sort of like help me move through something or just get me to not focus on the problem and be inspired, I will actually look to, well, I'm just going to pull it up anyway. This is another one of her things. Um, and I'm sorry, I do this all the time. I'm holding up this other book that she has. It's called I Am Choosing to Grow in New Ways.
It's the
And
inclusion notebook. Yeah.
yeah, and there, she's got quotes on the bottom of it. And, this is the first one that I read that I was like, the pain pushes until we let the vision pull. And I don't, I don't want to be caught in the pain of the not knowing or the uncertainty or the confusion or the doubt. I mean, it could be fleeting. It could be like 1 second. And immediately I'm like, okay, what am I doing? And why am I doing it? And what do I want here? So those are sort of other triggers. However, what I'm learning through you and the magic that you've created and the magic that's creating in the spaces that you're in, right? I'm so happy. FYI, she's doing a speech with a health network today. I'm so super excited. So lots more people are being exposed to this. However, let's get into the nitty gritty. Like, what are the 3 common things that people do not do when they don't have something like this standing by, or when they're thinking of affirmations, what are they not doing to make it work?
Yeah. So it's so funny. The way that we operate as humans is a lot of things are really counterproductive to what the actual truth is. And I understand a lot of it has to do with like indoctrination. Like we've been told like so many times that we have to work hard, that we have to struggle, that there's value in the struggle. But realistically, that's just things that like the oligarchy used to tell people to make sure that they kept working. Or like, back in the day when the church used to run everything, they're just all like, be pious, give everything to the church. No, they were brainwashing you, bro. Anyway, so like we have the opportunity to like rewrite all of those things. And so what works with affirmations is actually knowing and feeling good. So you can tell within your body center, and again, based on like your body language, based on the way that you feel as you say it, if it is true or if it is not. Again, even when you're writing it, is this true for me or is this not? And so people attempt to get further ahead than they are ready to. So let's say, for example, it's January 2nd, you're ready to go back into the gym, you're like, yeehaw, and you start picking up 50-pound weights. What's going to happen? Girl, that's not going to work.
I
That's
know.
not
I'm
going to
like,
work for
move your
anyone.
foot, because if you drop it, you don't want to bust your toe.
Jeez, can you even lift that? Like, I feel the strain in my chest already, right?
Right,
You
right,
have
right,
to start off with something that works for you. Start off
right.
with fives and then grow into the tens and grow into the 20s. And then you're like, yeah, you feel that accomplishment of like, yeah, I'm ready to the next set. It's the same thing with affirmations, starting really general with things that just don't have any resistance, like life loves me, or everything is always working out for me, or everything is always falling into place. Really widespread things. And then as you continue to say it, you'll feel the difference in your body center. You feel like, yeah, I believe that. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, whoo. And then when something great happens, then you're
Yeah,
just like milking it. You're like, look at this. Like everything is always working out for me. Everything is always
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And then you're, as you continue to build that muscle, you build that level of belief. you also build that level of evidence, of course, that you can have the things that you desire, that things are in fact working out for you. And therefore you can make something that's a little bit more specific. So for me, like I've always known, no, that's a lie. I've known and understood very much that I'm here to live a very abundant life. And ever since I started this company, I always knew this was going to be a multi-million dollar company. Like it just makes sense. But did I believe it? Two different things. Obviously, based on results, right? Like I was still operating in that space of struggle and having to do things on myself and da 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 da. And as of late, like I have had the opportunity to step into allowing people to support me. Like, this is a little bit of a segue, but I think this is really important to, especially people building businesses right now. So the other day, I was listening to Abraham Hicks as I was driving, because as per usual, and I was very clear about where I was in my business and that great things were happening for me. I was watching this amazing workshop, or this amazing TV show that was filled with a lot of luxury. And I was like, yes, this feels so good. Like, this is delicious. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm ready for this. Like, this is awesome. This is where I'm at. And then I was like, okay, I know who I want to work with, who I want to have on my team, how they feel as they work together, the synergy, like the different departments and et cetera, et cetera. But then the thought came to me, I'm like, okay, but am I the boss? Am I the business owner that is allowing these people to come in to work for me? Like, have I evolved into this level of ownership yet? Like, if I'm still attempting to scrimp and scrape by like trying to do my own graphic design, or like trying to do my own fulfillment, or like all these logistics and like all the hats that I've had to wear as being an entrepreneur, am I the person that's going to let this next level of my business come to fruition? And that was a no. So who do I have to be? What do I have to believe? How do I have to operate, or how do I have the opportunity to operate in order to allow this to come in? Because I'm the only one that's blocking my blessings at this point in time. So it's really giving me the opportunity to see, what can I take out? What can I take off of my plate? What can I give to my virtual assistant? What can I entrust to people that I love, that know what they're doing, that love this work, that is operating in their zone of genius, and allowing that to be my next level, allowing me to let go in that way, so that the business can be the business that she's been waiting to be.
Right. I love how you correlated the mindset shift of, you already knew the goal. You at some point, because you're like 5 now, right? These
Yeah.
most kids 5. So sometime over the 5-year period, even though you've been doing well, you're obviously doing well. Products have come out. That your mindset actually was like, for you to get to the next level of your multi-million dollar journey, is that you actually have to step into this person. So I want to tie this back to your original affirmation that you did not write. Did you believe it from the very beginning? Did it
No.
feel good? So how is it to take something that is an affirmation that goes from you did not believe it to like it comes out of you? Like, I almost want to ask you to say it again, because it just swells up, right? And is that an example of a general enough affirmation that, and again, is that an example that, if you have the support system, because I understand that it's a team event and
Yeah.
they're creating this, is that the same type of affirmation? Like, how do you feel about somebody writing an affirmation for you that you don't believe?
Yeah. So this is great, because within that specific, I guess, framework, it's very structured. Like, you have calls every day with your coach. Um, you're consistently completing new tasks. And then, so every time you get off of a call with your coach, you have to say your affirmation. Every time you have a team meeting, you have to say your affirmation, like, and then in not only during those meetings, you're saying like, okay, what did I complete? What am I going to complete? And of course, you have your affirmation. So you're like stating that first. What are you going to complete? Or what did you complete? What are you going to complete? So again, it's really coming into the fact of like, you're saying it, and then you're like, oh, I did do this, and oh, I did do that, and I did do this, and I'm going to do this, and I feel really good about this. Like, yeah, da, da, da. So then it's like this consistent reconditioning of the way you feel about it, and then of course who you really are and what you're completing. Not only like, and especially even like the days that are really sticky, where you're not completing the goals that you really want to, you can still say that like, I am this because I'm stepping into this, like, this is who I am, this is what I'm embodying. And then it's the repetition and the emotional attachment to it, and And then I guess also with that support and that reflection of unconditional love from that coach and from the facilitator saying like, I believe in you. Yes, you can do this. Say your affirmation one more time for me. Like say it with energy, say it with love, say it with joy. And them holding your feet to the fire of like, I'm holding this space for you. And it's also very different because somebody is holding that space for you versus you just pulling an affirmation out of the air and not having somebody to support you in creating that mindset shift as well.
So very interesting. And I love how you created, I'm going to assume, and you can validate or not, like, did you create Please Notes Goods as a result of that whole journey? Is that kind of what happened?
You know how the universe works is like you take a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this and it all comes together in the end. So I wouldn't say I created it as a direct result, like because I played PLD when I was 26, no, 27. And then I started Please Notes. How old am I now? So 3 years later, almost. It's almost my birthday. So 3 years later. And and I feel like the experience of playing with affirmations and seeing the shift that it's made in people definitely poured into start of my process and noticing the value of it. I was also going into like different spaces of personal development. I was also going to Agape Church in California,
California.
led by Michael Bernard Beckwith, who coincidentally was the author of that quote that you read earlier. So I wonder how that happened. And they always have affirmations every single week. Like I used to have a stack of their affirmation cards because they gave you a new affirmation every single week. And so like really recognizing the power of them and allowing them to continue to play a bigger and bigger part of my life was definitely a big factor in infusing them in Please Notes.
So the way that you are going to demonstrate how to use affirmations, because are we creating our own, or I think that's the way that it's got to go because we don't have the framework of PLD, right?
Yeah.
So
So if you wanted to go ahead and start creating your own, what I would suggest is if you want to either get the Please Notes Clarity Journal, and I say so because in the Journal Juice workbook, in the first couple pages, of course, you've got like your gratitude practice, the things that you love about yourself, et cetera, et cetera. But then there's also this page where you actually get to create your own affirmations. And then it has all the little acronyms and the different like nouns and I don't know what those words are called, but the different action words so that you can create them. So, and then it has also the framework of them that they have to be at least 50% believable for you to actually start playing with them and for them to be effective. Because some people, again, will go all the way to the 50-pound weights and try to say, like, I'm a multimillionaire, when really the easiest way to play with them is I'm allowing more abundance into my life, or, like money flows to me with grace and ease, or whatever you want to play with.
I love it. So how did you come to this? Because I know The Secret came out around that time, right? Like when you were playing, and there are gaps I think that I've heard about. So when you're doing the affirmations, how do we close those gaps even further? So the belief is what I'm hearing, repetition is what I'm hearing. Is there anything else that we're missing?
I think, I mean, it's all the inner work. Like you have to believe that you can have those things. So, and again, taking that look at like the spiritual sense versus like what we do on earth. Like, what do I need to do to make sure that this feels good? Well, girl, like you got to make sure it feels good. It's like chemistry with dating, right? Like you're not able to force chemistry. Same thing, you're not able to force yourself to move quicker in regards to the way that you feel about certain subjects, right? Like if it's that inner work of being consistent, repetitive, and just steeping in the feeling of what you want, and then as things go, just again, don't work so hard at it. Like just being easy with it is the thing that's going to allow it to come to you quicker and easier. Also, again, surrounding yourself with different ways that you can receive it. So it could look like, I know for myself, of course, the whole reason I started Please Notes is to surround myself with affirmations, because it was so easy for me to forget who I am, what I can do, what I'm capable of. And then therefore, having things like mirror decals, having things like my water bottle labels, having things like enamel pins really reinforce this is who I am, this is what I'm creating, and this is what I'm worthy of, and that I can have anything that I desire. So, I mean, definitely Definitely. So if anybody's not seeing the video, she's actually holding up one of the water bottle decals that has um the aspect that you would want to bring into your life on the front, and then a matching affirmation on the inside that you see through your water. I've got like 3 of my bottles like surrounding me here, all with different affirmations, because like, I mean, I'm not only the owner of Hair Club for Men, I'm a member. But it's just honestly, it's just all about feeling good and just doing things that feel really good, and then just continuing to let great things happen for you and recognizing them and accepting them.
I love it. Being in that lead hot seat, right? Not only the president, and really being mindful of the client experience is really important. And sometimes when things don't look like they're going your way, to have that faith it could really just be an affirmation or a quote or something like that. So I really want to get started. Let's go.
What do you mean? You want to create an affirmation right now?
Well, I want to do a demo if you're open to it with your cards, and like how to use them, and like what's a quick takeaway that somebody could do with your cards and with affirmations, or you know,
Yeah,
or
for
share
sure.
yours. Like you can do like your PLD. Is that still your affirmation that you say to yourself every day?
No, it's not.
Okay.
And I think it's because like it's kind of like when you have shoes you grow out of. It's like I have said it so much that I know that it is true and it feels good.
Yeah. So you went from
Um,
not believing it at all, or 50%. I'm not
no,
sure, but
no. At that point, it was 0. I was all like, "Who are you talking about?" You
so who are
said
you
what
talking
about
about?
who?
And now she says it. Say it again, just one time.
I am a worthy, courageous, beautiful woman committed to loving and trusting myself and others now.
So that lives in you already, right?
It is.
That lives in you already. And that just took 3 months.
No. um no, I think that took like a number of years, and however, I can say it's part of my DNA now. It is who I am.
Yeah.
Um yeah.
Repetition, practice,
Ah, yeah.
evidence,
Yeah,
evidence.
evidence,
Yeah.
evidence.
Yeah. I'm really, really excited for you. So, how do you want to demo your cards then? Because I thought we were going to do affirmation. Are you going to show like how do people use them?
I mean, I did well, we can for sure. So I think let's say for example, I like to keep them at my desk, right? And these are brand new, like hot on the scene. So I think that for me sometimes I'll notice where I am in regards to how I am feeling. As per usual, I always have my Abraham Hicks emotional scale behind me as I'm working, and I'm like, where am I at right now? So right now I'm playing in the space of passion, which is really good because that's a 2 out of 22. Yes. If you did want to check out this emotional scale, you can get it for free off of the website. It's a free download. If you just like it's free. Okay. Just find it. It's in the downloadables. And then, so let's say, for example, if I'm not feeling 100% like where I want to be, and I'm like, okay, well, what do I want to be true? Just pulling it out and just being like, okay, I'm just going to center on this message. So, like, for this one, like, there's always a solution. So, if I'm like really stuck and not feeling great about something, and I'm like, okay, well, what do I want to be true? And I pull this card, I'm like, okay, well, there's always a solution. So I just need to either, or I have the opportunity to focus on this right now, or I have the opportunity to let it go and come back to it later on, because there's always a solution. And it could be in letting it go and then coming back, that's when um I might get a piece of information or like an email or something that's like, oh, yeah, no, we can do this, and that it's good. Right. So it all plays out in a couple of different ways. And then sometimes even before you start your day, what do I want this day to be? Right. And I think that's super, super important. I always talk about intention setting because it prepaves the activities that you want to have happen in the day. Same thing if you're having a meeting, just like, what is the intention of this meeting? I want at the end of this meeting for everybody to get clear on X, Y, and Z, that we have sales goals completed, blah, blah, blah. And then you actually know, like, was this a successful meeting or was it not? Because you already stated your intention in the beginning of the meeting. So with the beginning of the day, what do I want this day to bring me? I want it to bring me joy. I want it to bring me happiness. I want it to bring me allowing. Like, I want great things to happen for me and to me, that I have great conversations with amazing people, that people are ready and willing and excited to hear the things that I have to say, and that they can actually take the things that I'm, communicating home with them and start applying that to their lives ASAP. I want I'm choosing for people to love my products, love my services, love the things that I do, so much so that they choose into purchasing some for them and their family, and that it continues to get to the right places and get to the right people and the right timing, and everything is A1.
You
So
are
I just
so good
pulled
at that,
this
though. You are so good at the affirmations. Like, I just listened to you. Success
is
is
who
who I am. You just
as
pulled it. Yeah.
as I was saying that. So it's
Yeah.
just all like, yeah, it's like again, another reaffirmation from the universe that this is in fact true, that I can have all these things, and things are always working out for me, because they are.
I love it. I think building business is definitely one of those things that promotes mindfulness.
Indeed. And so a couple easy ways that you might, if you're like, what is the tangibles? How can I apply this? Well, I think most importantly, when you're hiring, if you're looking to hire a person, be very clear on who you want, and then how you want them to feel, like how you want them to be in the mix, and then setting an intention as you're going through like monster.ca or Indeed or whatever, saying like, I'm going to find somebody, or the right person is on their way to me, that is going to be perfect for this role. The right person is on their way to me, and it's going to be great, and is making it simple and making it easy and making it fun, whatever you want to feel in regards to that process of allowing them to come to you. Whether it's you're going out for a sales meeting, you're like, I'm going to have a really great conversation at the sales meeting, I'm going to be able to communicate the value of what we sell, and then have the client understand why they need us and value us, and just be so excited to say yes to us, that they are like, yeah, how do I sign up? Like, oh, it's this much. I thought it was going to be less. Like, the value is communicated so much so that they are so excited to get started. Let's say even with outside of work, let's take a look at your physical goals. I always love using affirmations at the gym. And I usually use them when I'm doing cardio, or I'm doing something like repetitive, like weights, like on the row machine, which I love. Like, just being able to, like, oh, I'm strong. Ah, I'm powerful. Ah, everything's working out for me. Like, ah, look at how delicious I look. Ah, look at my body. Like, I love my body. Like, whatever you need to say. If you're like doing curls, you're like, yeah, I'm getting stronger. Like, I can feel this. Like, my body is full. My body is vital. Like, I can look at all this energy. It's so delicious. Like, look at me achieving my goals. I'm strong, I'm powerful, whatever you want to work with in doing that. And again, like, even when it comes to my water bottle labels, like, you are infusing your body with this affirmation, causing it to be true. When you focus on what's not working, then it's going to continue to not work. If you focus on what's working and what you want, then you're just going to get more of that. Um, Relationships, again, it's that same sort of thing when it came to the hiring. What do you want out of your relationships? How do you want to feel? What is fulfilling to you in a relationship? What is equally balanced and feeling like, things are working out, that you're receiving and giving the kind of love that you desire? Like, do you feel cherished? Do you feel loved? Do you feel supported? Do you feel open? Do you feel like you can be all of you? All of these different things. Playing with an affirmations in that is key. And then also even sitting an affirmation of like, with your partner, like, I'm so grateful that you're this, or I'm so excited that you're this, or I appreciate you being this, and highlighting, even if there's like, again, we've got the 80-20 rule that we're working with, just highlighting all the great things that they're doing right now, and just amplifying it is allowing it to just grow. And that's a really easy way to bless somebody, even if they're like, you're not actively saying it to them, like, they're allowing great things to happen in their life because you set that intention for them as well.
Right. It's almost somebody holding space for, or somebody projecting love and abundance and health and wealth and fun into
Yes.
somebody.
Mhm.
100%. Um, as it relates, again, I love how you are tying the mindfulness into the business building, and from team building to goal setting to shifting your mindset. And so you said something earlier where you surround yourself with affirmations, and I recently read somewhere that we have like 80 to 100,000 thoughts right? Every single day. And so
And
I
like
know,
80 to 90, I think it's like 90% of them are the same.
and likely not serving because they're running on auto pilot. And so just having, affirmations around has really made a big difference. Like, I mean, you see me pulling stuff all out all the time, and it's not because like I'm trying to, not that I'm not trying to promote her products and stuff, but I'm letting you know that like I use them. Like legit, I have on this. I am amazing at anything that I do. The goal shapes
Yes.
the plan shapes the action achieves the results bring on success. And it's not just success in business, right? It's legit my whole life. Like this whole navigating mindfulness is also about achieving balance, like having some fun and not grinding all the time. I remember starting and like working 12 hours a day. Well, that's not possible when you have a child. And then when you have a child, it's like, I definitely need some affirmations to keep my mindset right. Like as it relates to business, I know there have been very many times that if I did not one believe, two have faith, right? And three, just really be persistent about it. So the repetition or the willingness. So, Cheryl, we've talked about what doesn't work. What are the top three things or top X number of things that you think affirmations, like just to tie it with a nice bow? I'm hearing it feels good, repeat it. Anything else that I might be missing?
In regards to like making them work or
Yeah.
allowing them to work, I think honestly, we make things so complicated, but that's pretty much about it, right? Like we have the opportunity to let great things happen to us and not have to struggle, not have to strive, right? So, um, let's say for example you see some people that have really great success in business and not so much great success in their personal life. It's only because they believe that they could be successful in one area and their belief in the other area is lower, right? So if you need to bump up your belief, then that's the easiest way to do that, is just to start recognizing great things that are happening for you, and then steeping in them, letting them come into fruition, using meditation and allowing, you yourself to have like a bigger, like a macro version or macro um, look at everything, and just know what the end result is that you want. And the end result is that I'm a multimillionaire, already done, know, and that great things are
Sorry,
always,
guys. That was my phone. I thought
it's
it was off.
it's all good. So like that I'm a multimillionaire, Lisa is happy and successful in her amazing business, and that I can do so in a way that really feels good to me, like just sharing and having sweet conversations and creating really cool things, and um just letting the universe show up for me in more and more ways. That's it.
Ditto.
Copy paste.
Yeah.
Command C, Command V.
Really, really grateful that you did that today. Congratulations on the receipt of your newest product, the affirmation cards. Thank you for all of the products that you put out and that you share with us, because they do make a difference. And for our podcast and our audience, I highly recommend that you pick up anything. Like the post-it notes are really good. I just got the water stickers maybe 5 or 6 months ago. Um, the affirmations really, really, really do make a difference. I think the words and thoughts are things that are going to create your reality. And um, it all stems from the mindset. So why not play in that space? Um, Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm so
And
excited. So
yeah,
excited.
I think it's going to be great. Oh no, I know it's going to be great. And then also like notice the voices in your head, right? So and really correlating it to how you feel. So this is going to be my last thing. However, sometimes when we say something, there's three, maybe like three different versions that can play up in your head. Maybe four different things. One is it feels natural. It just makes sense. There's no energy around it. There's no blockage. And then sometimes it doesn't feel natural. And then that's when you have the opportunity to take a look at boosting up your belief by backing up and being a little bit more general. then sometimes you'll be doing something or you want to do something, and the first thing that comes to your head is this kind of like restrictive, cold, like sharp voice. It's like, no, you can't do that. Or what do you think you're doing? Or like, why would you even think you could do that? Very not in alignment with where we're going. So when you're recognizing that voice, you're like, oh, wait, oh, that's just fear talking, right? You could be like, oh, you know what? Thank you for attempting to keep me safe. However, I got this. I'm working with the universe. I'm not working on myself, but I appreciate you. And then choosing into that voice that's warm, that's allowing, that's expansive of like, what do I want to be true? I want this to be true that I am a multimillionaire. I want this to be true that I have multiple properties all over the globe. I want this to be true that I'm in a delicious relationship with someone that adores me and I equally adore them back, that we are equally yoked, that we are doing great things together on amazing adventures. And we're really living life in a way that we really want to, and let that be the truth. Yeah, that feels good.
Easy.
Grace and ease, baby.
Easy. The easy button. Make it
Like Sunday
easy.
morning. Ah, this is why I'm easy. Yeah. Oh, easy like Sunday morning. I know I messed it up at the end, but it's fine.
It's okay. Still sounded good. Still sounded good.
Did it?
Well,
I hope
peoples, if you have any questions regarding affirmations, or if you have any questions about what else, how to apply affirmations in your business or
yeah,
your life.
what ooh, that's actually a really great one. So I'm really glad that you brought that up, because you either want to go and like be my best friend, whatever. Come to come to Clubhouse. Of course, I do my affirmation session every Sunday night at 9 p.m. EST. However, I also have this new bundle that you should check out. It's called Get Clarity or Create Clarity in Your Calling. It's got a plethora of things from affirmation downloads. It has workbooks. It has 2 different meditations. But the main key thing is it actually has the Journal Your Way Wealthy workshop that's built into there. So it's not only about like actually just using affirmations, but integrating them in with your journaling practice and like fleshing out that life that you desire, so your belief factor can be higher, so that you can really allow those affirmations to take root and move forward. So you're definitely going to want to check the Journal Your Way Wealthy workshop. Journal Your Way Wealthy. It's available on CherylSutherland.com.
Love it. I haven't done that yet. I'm like, okay, so they know how to find you on Clubhouse. I'm Lisa McHale everywhere.
Everywhere. My
Everywhere.
name was too long, so it wouldn't give me.
It's difficult to spell. Hopefully, you just, if you can find it, then you can follow me. You're just like, come be my best friend. I'm like, if you can find me.
You have an air of mystery around you. It's fine.
Well, that's definitely one of the things that I'm playing with right now is like stepping out. Today is, we're going to date today. It's also the full moon is happening today. And it is,
Ooh.
today is a Leo full moon and I am a Leo.
Ooh.
And it really talks about stepping up and owning your power after you clean up the mess.
Good. I'm a Leo. My rising sign is Leo. I'm a
I don't
Pisces
know much
double.
about that. I don't know.
Ooh. Check it out. So I'm a Pisces double Leo. So Pisces, if I'm not mistaken. So your sun sign is like how your inner world. Your rising is how you present to the world. And then your the other one, I don't know
So
what the
you're
other
saying you
one is.
present like a Leo to the world. That's why
Have you
you
not
and I.
seen my hair?
Well, this is my hair.
Today.
Like my hair is your hair, but
This
just
almost. It's you're
almost.
trying. Don't come for the 4C, because the 4C and like you're like what, a 2B, okay? So
Yeah, yeah. No, for real. For real. We always have a good time here, and fun is definitely part of that. Like if you can't break it up and you're just grinding all the time, like make sure you work with people that you know and love. And so to my gorgeous co-hosts, let's wrap.
yay.
So to all of our audience, welcome to the other side of what it is that we do, which is like the inner work of belief and belief systems and the tools that we're using. So thank you for creating them. Thank you. Really, I appreciate it. Comment below, like, subscribe, whatever it is that we're on that you're listening to, and join us next week for more stuff. Maybe we'll do something a little bit more tactical. We'll see.
Sure, why not?
Cool. Everybody have a great day. Have fun at your
Bye.
presentation today, girlie.
Thank you.
You're welcome.